Please leave a message after the.
Some people are believing that Patreon is using social beliefs and everything on political standards to find out if these people are eligible enough to actually be using their site to pretty much bring income for their bringing income for their livelihoods, and becoming some weird form of censorship because of how many certain YouTubers have been already kind of banned or pushed out or lost a good portion of their income based on Patreon's own beliefs of what these people stand for is not really, I guess you could say, in the right nor in the wrong. It's a very messy detail. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this news, and I'm not even sure if it's still even relevant right now. But the only reason I bring it up is because of that you guys are also using Patreon to fund for your site and everything. And I just wanted to know if you guys were going to be okay and making sure that you guys were going to not be struck by this either. Again, I don't know how relevant this news is going to be or anything, but I just thought since this is connected to something you guys are doing for yourself, I just thought to bring it up. I wish I could try to be more helpful in this one. Again, look for a variety of different YouTubers that speak about this. Each of them have their own problems and their own intakes on it. So, yeah. With that said, though, take care, guys. And sorry if you get tangled up in this, too.
All right, that was an absolutely fantastic topic, and
really sweet. Yeah?
The voicemail might have been a little bit unclear. So for Tikun, I'm going to clear this up and make it a little bit more digestible for people to understand. So actually, this has got to. I can relate this to something that happened with Alex Jones as well. So
yeah, okay, go on.
Yeah, I'm sure you know we're going to go with this instantly. So, but if you don't, let me take the wheel. Patreon, if you don't know, is a service where you can fund your favorite creators by pledging them money every month, right? So, you know, YouTube monetization has been very low and anyone can create a Patreon account, right? So Patreon's been about for 4 years, I believe, right? So I think the crux of what Tikon is saying is a revelation people didn't really understand. They got a really big shock with Patreon when they thought Patreon was just a service. And I'll be clear. Anyone can donate money. They put money in Patreon. Patreon sends it to you. The end. Last year and this year, Patreon started shutting down people's patrons. Now, Patreon makes a lot of money for a lot of people. I'm talking grands, even millions of pounds for people. People rely on it for their livelihoods. When Patreon shut down people's Patreon accounts because those people, YouTubers, Saga Novakard, I'm saying this, he's the main one. Last year, they shut down his channel. He's a very outspoken person. He says a lot of things about SJW, about religious people. He's very, very controversial. He never hurt anybody, but he upset a lot of people, with the things he said. I like his channel, but he rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah.
In a big way. Patreon said, you know what? We don't abide by what you're doing. You can no longer use our service. The guy's whole livelihood disappeared because that was where 90% of his income came from.
Right.
Then Patreon started to close. They started to take an active role, and the people was like, wait a minute. I thought Patreon just holds my money. Now they're becoming some kind of social entity telling me if I don't do this, I don't do that. So a lot of you, I think last year especially, they started shutting down people's Patreon because they didn't agree with their message. And people started to realize that Patreon is a company owned by people. So... Right. In Tico's message, you know, a lot of people can't believe Patreon. They're saying that now they have an agenda. Now, if you don't play, it's a Patreon essentially a new level of censorship because they're forcing you to be good. Patreon was closing people's accounts down by things not what they were doing. Basically, Jolie said something on Twitter. They shut down the Patreon. It's got nothing to do with
the content now.
They could just find something they don't like about you and shut you down.
Right. Okay.
And that's worrying a hell of I can't believe this. I thought Patreon, but in Patreon's defense, guess who else did this to Alex Jones?
Right. Okay.
PayPal.
Yeah, not just PayPal, Google as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are becoming more aware that all these, they're cutting all of the things. And because those companies didn't do that for so long, and now everyone's taking a side, everything's becoming politicized. People are just like, I can't believe this, you know. now I can't be me anymore and this, that and the other. So I got a lot to say. I just wanted to explain to you guys.
Yeah, no, that was actually a good explanation. Yeah.
So I want to
the context of it.
So she's saying to us that, I hope you guys are affected by this. I hope you guys, again, even going back to what Raven said about what we say, offending people. Shit, if Patreon hears what we just said, laughed about a woman, shit, Patreon can shut down our account. Are we scared of Patreon?
Yeah.
So I got things to say more about it, but I just want to explain it to you guys.
Right.
And I'll let you guys talk first and say what you think, and then I'll add my comments after that.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I appreciate we all love Tikkun here. But yeah, I think it's definitely not something that we need to be too concerned about. Only because it is that kind of action where a company like Patreon draws a line is only for the hyper toxic types. I don't know the person that you were talking about before, but I definitely know Alex Jones. Yeah, and he is literally like one of the worst human beings ever. So, like, you can't even listen to him for more than like a minute without you start getting like high blood pressure. Like, he really is terrible. Like, that's my personal opinion.
But I thought he was a comedian like Jody.
Well, he ends up being a comedian without realizing it, because that's how much of a con he is.
I thought it was a self-aware comedian that was just,
only God knows.
No way I can keep up with this guy's game, man. This guy's
when he said them
funny stuff, man.
Them deaths are staged and kids being killed, man. Okay, I can't.
See,
that's
crazy.
not even funny right there. Yeah. That's not even funny right there.
I mean, in a serious.
Jody's laughing, by the way.
No, I'm laughing because Patron's taken out. No, I'm just saying.
I'll edit that out. Sorry, Stanley, go on.
Yeah, the reality is that it's a private company. They can do what they want to do, and it is.
But that's not what they said. They promised they'll just take your money, the fans' money, and pay. They didn't say that they'll shut down my account if I don't play by their rules. There's no rules. What are you saying, Stan? That's not what they said. Now they're the police.
Companies will do whatever they want. Like, it's up to you if you want to like turn it into litigation.
SJW Patreon.
No, I actually, because like because if they're gonna like censor people like us, we're quite mild compared to like what some other people are potentially talking about. So they'll lose their whole business basically. I think they reserve that like last straw kind of mentality for the extreme.
But you do see how by doing that, so they're positioning themselves as gatekeepers, which is very dangerous for them as well.
Yeah, I mean you can see it in the microcosm now that they've got a noble sentiment, where they're not a big fan of people, obviously breeding all this toxicity,
which I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
You say noble, someone will say authoritarian.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, that's my whole point
Alex
there.
Jones.
I mean, if you would let me finish. No, but
I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta tell everyone that Joe Rogan has got the best podcast in the whole world. All right,
it's actually a really good podcast. No, but there's but people are actually starting to monetize, this level of toxicity. And if you're obviously talking about the grander picture there, what you touched on, I mean, it's that people are now worried that these plutocracies, be it Facebook, Google, and all these other, huge, Silicon Valley or whatever entities there, they are going to be, the moral arbiters, and that's the danger. Now,
is it bad though? Is it bad?
Well, I mean, at this moment, then no, but I mean, the danger is absolute power. I mean, if they have that, then there has to be a form of like, I mean, who regulates the regulators?
Exactly.
I mean, it's a kind of whole chicken and egg. I mean, what do you do about it? I mean, for this moment, I think people are still, finding their feet. I mean, look, guys, we're in the midst of what we would say the third technological revolution.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And this is probably the fastest rate one, the quickest thing that's happening now, and people are still trying to make heads or tails about this. So at this moment, it's working, but I mean, obviously, with the social change and social change brings about new values and morals. So what may seem wrong now may seem right now may be wrong later on. So that's why you see a lot of comedy now. aging badly when you see like people get angry at Eddie Murphy at Raw and shit, you know, and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just, my whole general point is, you know, there is definitely a danger, and you're right to worry about these guys being moral arbiters there. But I think it's just a case of saying, no, watch your space. I think once there's a line that's crossed, then hopefully we're in a position to jump in.
But I think just before we jump off of this, I think it's quite interesting that someone like R. Kelly, I find it quite interesting that Spotify hasn't taken them down yet, as far as I'm aware anyway. Like, because you'd expect, just with like the current sentiment in society today, I would have expected Spotify to just wipe him. So I
think they got so many pots in that the company, the structure, Sony, it's not just the music division, they're owned by I think with those mega companies, I think there's so many conflicted interests, and I think a lot of them are so greedy with R. Kelly's backlog that they're not so noble, as Jordy would say. I think they are so money first that they would like, look, man, yeah, the PR is not good, but at the end of the day, we're already fucked. So then when he goes to jail, there's obviously, even Jordy point, they got a limit. Limit is jail. Once you're convicted, then they're free. They're like, we don't even need to. But when you're not convicted like him or Michael Jackson or anyone, or Chris Brown or whatever, they're like, look, at the end of the day, we can just say the law's the law. He ain't a criminal. So fuck you.
Yeah.
That's it. That's that whole fame to jail ratio.
Yeah. Well done.
With, you know, they gave 2 passes to MJ, you know, so they were like, because of his level of fame, you know. So
I don't like the way he said that.
Well, no, it's true.
That's MJ talking about. He didn't get a pass. Right? He was proven innocent. Right? Not a pass. God,
all right, you know, we'll agree to.
Do you remember the time, Jordy? Do you remember the time?
Oh my God, that was a funny joke about that now, but I won't talk about it. But it's. But yeah, you know, I'd say with Spotify, going about your R. Kelly thing, I think they would just like wait till this clamour dies down. Who's talking about R. Kelly now?
It's true.
No one's talking about it.
True, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
so
sad.
they're just like, yo, are we gonna kill this cash cow now? They're like, no. I'll tell you right,
the label did drop him though. They did drop him. The label did drop him.
But I mean, you know, I'm not to say that exactly. Not every company is going to react the same. I mean, some of them are just going to be like, well, you know, no, we can ride the storm, or we can take. I mean, also they're at a point where they're like, well, who else are you going to go to?
Yeah,
was it Tidal? Is the other one? Is that still?
No one's. They don't need to pick him up. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they got contracts that, you know, they dropped him. They might assign him some back end deals, you know, just because he ain't on the roster for active albums, the past catalog and stuff.
I mean, what happened? If anything, you know, the music went up.
He can go independent too.
But I mean, more people started listening to him on Spotify when all the stuff happened there. But
and he will make another album to probably capitalize it, because that's what he does.
But yeah,
I just googled it, and they did remove him from certain playlists.
Yeah, they did the active playlist.
Yeah, but they didn't like remove his songs from their platform.
Business, man.
All right, get him off on.
So let's move on to the main event. It's a long one.
I'm just imagining like them removing him off like high school playlists, like you know, prom dance favorites. So like
that happened first.
Maybe this can't
just get him off there.
I think that happened first, Joey. That happened first. That would be the priority in my mind. You know who you're dealing with. So,
oh my God.
Please leave another message at voiceofmail.com.